welcome everybody to the show. Good evening, wonderful people, fellow gamers. I'm glad to see that you have all survived yet another Monday. And this is good. This is very, very good. It means you've made it to the best part of your week, which is where you and your fellow Eorzeans get together to discuss your virtual life. You have made it to MogTalk. Yes, Adagio, we get that you're holding up a sign. We get it, man.
This is my face.
Yeah, I would believe that. I would totally believe that.
It has my name. It's my face.
Yes, I know that your face has your name written over it. Adagio.
Makes for a good nose.
Yeah, it makes for a great nose. Tonight, on our minds is the current state of the community since the launch of Heavensward. What our interactions are, like the rest of, the Final Fantasy XIV community, and how it plays a role in the game entirely. You know, the kind of stuff that usually matters in a very large social MMO. But first, let me introduce our panel of wonderful on-screen discussioneers. And yes, I just created that word, and I like it very much.
Well, you are a machinist. You're supposed to make things.
Okay, Adagio. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Alright. The ever so lovely and talented Kerberos joins us again tonight. Healing, PvP, crafting, and overall great person.
Hello.
Look at that. She's so wonderful. The majestically robotic viewer interaction extraordinaire. Adagio Adante is here yet again to bridge the gap between the screen and the wonderful people who chose wisely to be here tonight.
Robotic engineer?
Robotic viewer
pretty,
interaction extraordinaire.
Sounds pretty important.
It's sort of important. I would say so.
Fantastic.
I think you have the most important role here, Adagio.
Yay!
We'll see.
I feel loved.
And for the first time ever, we introduce Blizzana to the show, who we will acquaint everyone shortly with, as a tradition for all of our new guests to the show. And thank you for joining us, Blizzana. Should I just call you Blizz?
Hey guys. Yeah, you can call me Blizz.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. Before we start, I'd like to ask everyone who has made it to the introduction of the show to please join us as we talk about our discussions tonight. We want to get as much input as we can from you guys and everyone else. Even if we can't get it all on the show, we're definitely going to try. That's what our majestic robotic viewer interaction extraordinary is supposed to be doing. Great. If he doesn't do it, just yell at me, and I'll know who to yell at. Alright. But let us not delay any longer with the most lingering question I'm sure everyone is dying to know, of course, is who is Blizz? Who's this awesome guy over here with this wonderful fox hat on and this awesome arm tattoo? And this nice, shiny polo shirt.
Yeah, it's an old fox hat. I picked it up out of a box just for you, Frosty.
Oh, man. Thank you.
But I'm just a regular guy, streamer, 29, play Final Fantasy, Exodus server,
Okay.
from Fairy Tale FC.
Right.
And let the hate go. Let the hate go. I know it's going to happen.
Oh, do you feel a lot of hate, like, constantly?
We get our fair share of flack.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, by the way, Fairy is the largest FC that we have on Exodus. Huge, and they've been around for, like, how long have they been around for? Like, since the beginning of the...
Since the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the biggest on, like in general? That's what I heard somewhere.
I wouldn't... It can't be the biggest FC.
No, there's a couple that are, like, on Japan servers. They're a lot bigger. Like, they're maxed out.
Yeah. I mean, that's... And how many people can you have in an FC again? It's...
512?
512. Jesus Christ. How do you get control over 512 people?
That's a question for
the Japanese players.
For the Japanese players and for my FC leader, because he's the one that put together all that and has made it happen. So,
yeah. And as much shit as people probably you hear about Fairy, at the same time, it's an incredible feat to be where they're at right now. Incredible feat. Okay, so I have to ask this question. If I don't ask this question, I'm not who I am. How'd you decide on your user handle, Blizzana?
You know, the funny thing is I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, and anyone knows some of the spells, Blizzard,
Yeah.
Blizzaga, like that's kind of where I got the name. I didn't want any like copyright type deal or anything. And
Right.
so I just went through and tried to figure out what kind of combination I could come up with, and that's kind of what I fell upon.
Yeah, well, that's kind of cool. So you're like, what if they try to put Blizana in the game as a spell?
Well, I guess they better come ask me first.
You have it copyrighted, trademarked.
I need to get on that.
Yeah. All right. So how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since beta. I played the PS3 beta, and then I went over to PC. I stopped playing consoles altogether,
Mm,
um, and picked up since day one.
okay. So what was your beef with PC, by the way? I mean, not PC, but console.
Well, everybody knows how bad PS3 was,
Oh, it
being
wasn't that
old
bad.
content. Um, I don't know. Even like in beta, it was really laggy. But I mean, that's to be expected in beta too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just stopped playing consoles.
We had we had one of our players actually until T13 uh be one of our members in a static as a ninja on PS3. So it was not uncommon to see those lag bunnies. It was so sad. Uh, Rest in peace, Jack.
Yeah, we had a couple going through first coil progression. We had a husband and wife combo, and we dealt with it a lot in turn two.
Hmm. I gotcha. I don't know. I think I tried to play on PS3 once and then like I just got aggravated because I couldn't actually just go straight to it. I had to buy a copy of the game and I didn't feel like even going any further than that. But I saw Kerr play it a little bit. Kerr has some experience with PlayStation 3. It's good for gathering, I guess, right?
I love the face that she's making.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
tried. Remember that one night where your computer was down and then you had to play my PC and then I was forced to use the PS3 for raid?
Yeah.
We were doing like a T10. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not going to go on
I,
again.
I think the bad thing about it was is that in the beginning they just didn't have enough there for PS3 players as far as hot bars, as far as being able to use all your skills, just the capability of the actual platform. It just I don't know, it just wasn't there. When they went to PS4, things started looking a lot better. Um, but I had long since switched, and being an avid MMO player, I mean PC is the way to go.
Yeah, no doubt. I can't ever think of getting hardcore into a game unless it's on PC, but that's because I grew up with, Counter Strike back in the old days. Before 1.5, I think it was. Uh, Man, it was like if I play any other first person shooter, like not on a PC, I feel like I'm just handicapped. Uh, all right. So I also want to know kind of where are you at in the game? Where's your static and progression? What kind of jobs do you have leveled up? Etc. Just general information about where you are in Final Fantasy 14.
Well, we'll start with the static. We're on AS3 last phase. While we're still trying to sort out some of the very fine details, we've
Mm-hmm.
been consistently getting there. We have a running joke that we should change our raid name to technical difficulties because we have so many problems with lag and everything when it comes to AS3. AS1, AS2 are fine. AS3, that's where it just kind of sets in for us. As far as jobs leveled, I gotta think on this one. Scholar, Astro, Dark Knight, Summoner. I don't remember. Oh, Monk.
Monk. Okay. What
I
do you play
was
as your main class?
currently Scholar. I
Scholar.
started out 3.0 with Astro. I'm actually this week gonna go back and try out Astro again to kind of see the difference that the updates with the class made. But for now, like I go Scholar. It's just so much easier for progression's sake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kerr can kind of actually relate to that a little bit. She was white mage, and now she's definitely playing Astro.
Yeah.
It's
Just
been,
for A3.
yeah. I mean, do you feel like Astro was a big upgrade from white mage for A3?
I do miss Cure 3, but it's kind of nice, I think, just having the cards, and mana issue can be there, but if I do consistently kind of get a Euro card, so I guess that kind of balances out. But otherwise, I feel like it's pretty powerful in there.
Yeah. I mean, I've liked getting those balance cards. It makes me feel a little bit better. Strokes my ego a little bit. All right. So I've also noticed, like, one of the things, like the banner that I actually have up on stream right now, it says Blizzana Gaming. I mean, it looks like you've put actually a good amount of work into kind of making this a thing, where it's kind of your identity as well with other things, and you got YouTube videos up and everything else. What are your goals with, like, streaming and YouTube and everything else in general?
And I just kind of want to get to know the community, and if they want to come by and talk, if they have questions, feel free to ask. And I just do it because I love it. It's a hobby. If I can interact with the community and help somebody out, then all the better. I started trying to do the YouTube stuff, which I need to get back on because I've been slacking on it. But I made a couple, one guide video, and I have another one that I haven't uploaded for Dark Knight, and I need to go upload or go remake my Astro one. But yeah, it's something that I want to get into. I want to start making some more guides and stuff. It's just I've totally put it on the back burner.
Yeah, I know how that feels, man. So, are you like, do you enjoy making these videos and putting everything together and throwing it up on YouTube? Because I've been working on some videos myself, and it's hard as shit, man. Like, when you don't know anything and you're just diving into it. I mean, I'm using Windows Movie Maker right now. Like,
Yeah, well, see, I have Power Director, which is a really, really nice program. I have 12. I think they came out with 13 a little while ago, which I need to get. But yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun to do, and to know that while you get good and bad reviews, I mean, everybody has a voice to say on it, and that's just feedback for me to get better at it.
yeah. I mean, the only videos I have going up right now are really if we clear something, or if MogTalk. But I am working on trying to do some other guides too, and I feel like it's fun just to kind of build and create that. And that's the same reason I do the show, is because I like to create things. It's been a lot of fun so far to kind of go through all the steps and motions to doing that. And I feel like I'm learning a shitload. I don't know anything about graphic design, but I've learned a shitload within the last, I don't know, week of trying to make that video. So we'll see. Okay, so we don't have too many viewer questions here, so I want to ask you a question, Blizz.
Sure.
It's just off the top of my head here. What kind of headset are you using?
It is a Sidea's 901. It's a Chinese gaming headset that I got. Got it as a present for my birthday this year, so...
And the mic you're actually using a mic right now.
Yeah.
It sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I mean it's been great. The only thing that I don't like is from time to time I get a little bit of static in there, and I have to kind of jiggle the wire, and then it goes away and it's fine. But other than that, I mean it's working fine. The sound quality is amazing in it, so
That's pretty awesome, man. I'm guessing some of your friends made it to the chat.
yeah, you can see them trying to troll me.
They are working.
That's their actual real videos.
Yeah, these are.
You know 'em.
Yeah, shout out to Twin Blades, Jet, Colm. Colm he's not on my rating. Twin Blades and Jet are, but Colm's a really good friend too. So
That's awesome. I'm glad they can make it here and kind of prod you and make fun of you a little bit.
well, I did post it on our forums for them to come by. So
I gotcha. Welcome, Fairy. We're going to be talking so much shit about you tonight. Just kidding, we're not. Or maybe we will. It's all up to Blizzana.
We have a viewer question now. Spellcheck wants to ask a question for Blizzana. The rumors true of him running for Ice Supreme God King in the year 2016.
Is this like is there a story behind that, or is that just like a...
Okay, so spell check is another one of my raid members, and when we kind of had a little bit of a falling out in the FC, one of the questions that he proposed was, "Are you going to be running for High Supreme God King?" And so it's just been this running joke. Jolyn, yes, I will be running for High Supreme God King in 2016.
That sounds like the highest title possible.
You got like not too long to kind of get promotions going for that, man. I haven't heard too much about it. You only got like...
Well, I'm trying to keep it on the DL right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna explode. I gotcha. All right. So I feel like we've had a proper prodding. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too sticky. I guess it's a good word for it. Like we haven't cut you or anything. I don't know. So we'll go into the...
Talking about cut? Why are you talking about cutting?
I mean, when you got to get information from people, you got to do stuff to them. Sometimes you have to prod them, and you get a little
shoots under the fingernails. Everyone knows that's how you do it. Don't cut people.
Okay. So we're going to go on to the first part I want to actually talk about tonight. That was just kind of an interesting bit of information. They kind of updated the census. And there's a shitload of information they put in there. I'm saying shitload a lot tonight. If I say that one more time tonight, guys, just call me out for it.
I'll just come upstairs and slap you.
Just come upstairs and slap me. You'll see Kerr actually do that. It'll be very embarrassing for me, and I probably will not do it. But there's a link to it. You guys can look at that, and I'm going to just kind of go over these slides. And I don't know, have you guys had any chance to look at this at all? By the way, Adagio, have you looked at this at all?
Nope.
I did during the live letter, I think.
This is like an updated version from the live letter.
Oh, okay.
They have a little bit more information in there than before. I'm not sure what information in here is new compared to what they had in there before. But one thing that was the very first slide is, of course, what gender does everyone play? Apparently, Huh?
No.
Apparently... No, tell me. All right, you gotta tell me now. You interrupted me twice. You gotta tell me.
I laughed a little bit.
Oh, the gender part. Okay. Surprisingly, NA is one of the least female populated servers. We joke about seeing tons of Makote females everywhere, but apparently they only take up close to 1/3 of the population. I'm sure they're all female Makotes. I'm sure there's no other female.
But a lot of the EU characters are on our servers as well, right? Before. They don't have the EU specified servers yet, right?
I don't know how maybe they just got into their billing information and they figured out if they're from EU or not. But maybe you're right. Maybe we're mixing them in there too. And
it's probably in a EU versus the Japan servers.
Which Japan is fucking 50-50. I don't know how the fuck they got 50-50.
Well, I really feel like a lot of those are skewed.
Yeah, I mean, how? There's no way in the world Japan has exactly 50-50 in their female and male numbers.
I mean, come on, it's not like Yoshi P plays a female cast Black Mage. I mean, come on.
He does. But I mean, that's fine. It's just funny. It's interesting to look at this stuff. I mean, Blizz, you play a female character, right?
Yep, I do.
And you play Ura, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Which we actually find out in the race distribution is the least fucking played class or race out there, apparently, in the distribution.
Which is really unusual because I know a lot of people, and most of my raid team actually are some form of Ara, whether male or female. Mm-hmm. And the thing with it is I see a lot of them around on the server, but I mean, I can't believe it's the least played. I guess it's because everybody knew that everybody was going to be switching to Ara come 3.0. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. And a lot of people who switched to it, I think, didn't like it. I mean, when I actually have one that I made a new character with, and it runs like it's, I don't know, a 1950s quarterback or something. It's goofy as shit.
I think a lot of people have just gotten used to their main character as it is and really didn't want to change. So
yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt. I was like, I might try Ora. And then I was like, no, I like my Makote too much. So
yeah, a lot of us changed. I mean, I ended up changing for one sole reason, and that was because I ended up I started out as a healer, was going to end up playing monk, and then ended up staying as a healer, and then finally went monk, like at T13, and I ended up being a Highlander because of the stats. Because I don't know, I wanted to min max those out, and
Right.
I was just tired of looking at a manly woman, so went with something a little more feminine, I guess.
Right. And Lackey is actually right about that too. I guess like the people who haven't actually purchased Heaven's Ward are making the numbers seem a lot less too. Uh, there's all right. So there's a lot of other information in between the stuff that I'm going to talk about, but I wanted to get into things that I found a little bit more appealing to talk about. One was the specialist distribution. It seems like everybody, if I'm reading this right, wants to be a weaver, and a goldsmith. Is there a reason why weaver and goldsmith are popular?
You can make jewelry with a goldsmith, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
So
I think it's a money thing.
Yeah, you can make more because you can make the class, the specialized class gear with Goldsmith. Well, of course they don't provide red scripts for accessories, right? So you have to buy the accessories.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'd say it's a money thing too, though.
I don't know. What does a weaver provide again?
Well,
Clothes.
just like the cloth armor and stuff. But most of the mats, I mean, if you look at, especially on Exodus, I mean, I know when I started crafting, probably 3 days after launch of 3.0, the mats were still sitting at 90K, 100K, and then the actual pieces to make it were sitting at like 2 and 3K for high quality. Um, just I don't know, the mats, the way that they did it, which I'm kind of a little upset about, is they put everything behind unspoiled nodes,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why those prices are so inflated for the actual mats. The actual pieces are pretty easy to make.
Hmm.
I
Well,
agree.
I'll be a crafter here in about 2 years, I'm sure, and I'll guess
whenever
that's
they
something
add a
decent.
new beastman tribe that levels my crafting, that's when my crafts will go back up again.
But when are they going to release the Vanu Vanu?
3.1, I
That's what you
think.
want.
That's what I heard, but I mean they've been pushing it back. So
Yeah, they pushed back the gold saucer stuff, which turned out to be like the joke they made in April. Uh, and so we're going to see minion battles here and at 3.1 as well. But they're going to hopefully release a lot of that information in the Tokyo Game Show, which is a little bit later, I think this week. So that's cool. All right, so let's go into the next thing that I thought was uh, relatively interesting. Let's see, the job distribution here. And of course, and I guess this would also kind of tie in maybe people who haven't bought Heaven's Word or not. A lot of people don't have the new jobs or classes. You got 3% Astro, 4% Machinist, and where's Dark Knight on here? 4% Dark Knight. So they overall take up 11% of the population with the three new classes. And everyone's still playing Paladin, even though they can't do A4. They're still doing White Mage, and they're still doing...
Well, it's probably only that 11% that are the Dark Knights that are actually getting the 8 so.
Right, I'm sure like the fucking...
yeah.
The Dark Knights, the population was inflated with all the people who had to actually go to Dark Knight to do A4. So they might actually only be at like 2%.
Well, I think a lot of that too is a lot of people got on the whole bandwagon of the new classes weren't going to live up to what the current classes can do. Everything that was on Reddit, people reading all the flack that the classes were getting, and a lot of people were saying, hey, those classes aren't going to be viable. Come to find out, they're just as viable as any other class in the game.
Yeah. With the exception that Astro needed minor changes, although they were doing okay. They were underperforming for how people at least were playing them and how people thought they should be played.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them were saying, "Oh, well, you're not going to be able to get past A1 with it with an Astro," and I've got a clear video of it.
Right.
It wasn't until like A3 when you actually saw the problems that existed with Astro.
Yeah. and just to go off on this subject real quick too, because it's just right there at the top of my mind. With people who are upset about having to change to Dark Knight, you're also talking about the people who are upset that they're having to change classes to push on the edge of progression. And if you're on the edge of progression, you're going to have to change classes, because some classes are going to be able to push better than other classes. At least that's what I think. And
Hey, I mean, absolutely. I mean, when it gets down to like having a paladin versus like a dark knight, I mean, dark knights can live through anything that savage can put out. Plus, they do more DPS, so automatically the extra defense you get from paladin isn't really, it's a waste. So you might as well bring the guy that does more DPS that can also live through the attacks that you get, are getting barraged with. So I mean, yeah, unfortunately,
I mean, and
it's
that's
not a good place right now.
yeah, and the paladins are pissed off because they have all this gear that's invested in playing a paladin. And then they get to the point they're like, oh, well, I have to switch to Dark Knight to do in-game content right now. I think that's just kind of how the shit works out. Unless if you, like right now, I'm sure a Paladin could clear it. A4.
Yeah. I mean, easily. I think it really honestly comes down to what your group's capability is. Like for us in A2, one of the hardest things that we had overcoming was how we were going to handle that last wave. Because we were having our Dark Knight pick up the 2 Widows, and then my Warrior was picking up everything else. Well, the problem that we were having was that me and my White Mage were deciding, hey, we're going to split heals. You know, you're going to heal the Dark Knight, and then I'll heal a Warrior. Couldn't do that, because the Dark Knight, even with cooldowns, is taking like 12k at global, you know? And we, you know, it took a little bit of time for us to understand, hey, what we needed to do, what cooldowns needed to be popped so that we could get this down, you know. But I really think it's like how much time you put in and how much the group actually interacts with each other and talks and tries to figure out different mechanics.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you just have to work together to get it. And there is a chance that you're going to have a disadvantage towards a different composition. That's just how it is. And the fights aren't built to fit every single competition or every single composition optimally. Like some people are going to have it a little bit easier, some people are going to have it a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean,
But you can still do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many factors that play into it. What's your team composition? What's the player skill per class? You know. Yeah. It really just depends on the cohesion of your group. I mean, there's so many variables that play into it that, you know, you can go in with any comp, but you have to have the right mindset for it.
Yeah. All right. Let's push past it. We're going to jump into a different debate for rating, which we will have. We'll have to. Let's see. There's more percentages on who's playing what healer and who's playing. They're the exact same things. Or it's just saying who plays what and what plays what. But skipping past classes and jobs, they have some stats on just the total amount of how many hours are actually played within the game, which I thought was pretty interesting. Although, I mean, it's not completely unfathomable. Is there's 1,613 I think 1,496,024 hours total from every player so far in the game. I'm sure that's gone up a shitload since last time.
Yeah, that's probably a 2 bill now.
Kerr might come up and slap me in a bit. I don't know. We'll save that for later.
Yeah, watch yourself.
Yeah. So, I mean, let me think. So 1 billion hours, and let's say we have, this is overall since the game came out, and we have let's just say 250,000 people playing the game actively, then multiply that times 4. I'm not going to do the math, fuck it. It's a lot of hours, guys.
Yeah, someone just said in chat that 1.3 billion of that was all bot hours anyway.
Oh yeah, who fucking, yeah, it could be bot hours. Like the ones that are hiding underground.
80% is AFK time.
Yeah, I can't, I have, like if I do my play time or whatever, it's like a ridiculous amount of days. But honestly, most of that is me not playing the game. and just being AFK because there's no
stand
auto
there
logout.
AFK. I'm never just AFK unless I'm like running to the restroom real quick or something.
I don't know. I feel like it's having like a chat program open, right?
Yeah, I mean,
guess.
if you're taking, I don't know, I take breaks from time to time if I'm crafting or something, watching a TV show on stream. Like I'll tab out for like 30 minutes and just leave the game going. I don't care. I'm coming back to it.
Yeah. I mean, I can leave the game up all day, and I could be doing tons of other things because the computer's just close to me when I'm working and everything else. I could just be there. And so if someone wanted to talk to me real quick, that's a way for them to talk to me. I don't know. I think I'm not the only one like that. I think Kerr's like that too.
Yeah, like we'll go out for dinner and I'll leave the game up so I can come back and talk to people.
I gotta know what messages I missed. What conversations people are having about me.
That just sounds like you're stalking their lives.
Oh no!
No, I mean
Like a chat program.
Yeah, exactly. Like a chat program. You're in the chat
I
room.
stroll back up an hour past, start reading all the chat. Yeah, I saw you said something about me.
Oh man, I was doing North Thanalan, I think like I don't know, we were trying to level up the FC and I wanted to get all my characters up to 51 so I could just start doing dungeons with them. And there's some guy, and you know, there's a lot of bots in North Thanalan. Tons of bots. And so there's this one guy that I had on my friends list, and I was just curious if this guy was actually botting. I haven't talked to him in like, I don't know, a year. And I was like, hey man, and I said a whole bunch of stuff to him. I talked to him, sent him, he had the busy sign, of course, on him, and I sent him a whole bunch of messages. Or just, it says. I said it in say. And then 2 hours later, he's like, hey man, what's going on? I saw you sent a message. I'm like, yeah, I was just checking to see if, you know, you're botting or not. And he's like, there's no way I'm fucking botting. No, I'm not botting. Quit witch hunting me. What are you talking about? You're responding to a message I sent 2 fucking hours ago that I said and say while you were running around and doing stuff, and you just now noticed that? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean we've had it like even in our FC where someone's noticed it and they'll come to an officer, they'll come to one of the leaders, and then we'll go check it out or whatever, and we'll kick them. And after we kick them, they're like, "Why'd you kick me?" Well, you're botting. We're not going to support that. Like,
Yeah.
stop doing that. And some of them were pretty active members in the FC. We just found them botting. And they get upset about it. But look, I mean, you're breaking the terms of service.
Yeah.
I mean, a big terms of
Yeah, this
service.
is something that's like, you know, ACT is something that's whatever. People use ACT. I use ACT, and it's something that you use because it's a tool that doesn't kill the game. It doesn't break a lot of different things. But botting fucking kills the game because it makes it to where your efforts mean almost nothing because this other guy has an advantage just being AFK. And I feel like that hurts the game. So, just a quick message to all of you guys who bot. Fuck you. And I will unfriend you and probably not talk to you anymore if you bot. Because I can't support that either.
So what are like some telltale signs of botting?
So, if they are running to fate, if one, they usually put a busy sign up. They don't always do it, but they put a busy sign up. And, you know, people do that so they don't get gold spam or whatever. But that's just one of the things that they do. And then they run from point to point. As soon as a fate spawns, they go to it immediately. But they won't actually start a fate. So if you have to activate a fate, and you activate it, and they're sitting right next to it, by the way. There's one, they always go to the central town or whatever, and then there's the one that you can activate right next to the town. If you activate that fate, they'll run straight to it, even though they could have activated it if they weren't a fucking bot. So that's one of them.
Yeah,
They're teleporting underground from node to node. They're probably
yeah.
Yeah.
When you see names inside rocks sitting there mining and stuff. Yeah.
That's not necessary, but teleporting is a good sign. Sometimes I get outside the map and I'll troll people at the end of the ground. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not botting. I'm actually playing the game.
Oh no, yeah, I know there's areas where you can get in there. Like we have like hide and seek and stuff in our FC as little events that we do, and we use those all the time. But yeah, I mean, I know you can get into the actual layers, but when you sit there and you just see them and their name is inside the rock and they're mining while they're invisible,
Yeah.
and then they teleport, their name teleports. You know, that's
It's pretty easy to see. I mean, you can see people, they commonly glitch out the game, for one. And I think North Dandelion is one of the obvious places. If you wanted to find a botter, there's probably 2 people in North Dandelion right now at least botting.
Probably.
So I've lost some people that I used to talk to, and I was kind of friendly with, and I found out they're botting, and they just completely refused to accept it, of course, because they don't want to have proof that they're botting by saying something in chat, but come on, guys. I don't want to just turn into some AFK game. Anyways, again, we're running on these tangents. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see. What is extremely interesting here? The company allegiance, of course, didn't fucking change at all. I don't even know. I guess this was just something they could put there. But no one's... Okay, Immortal Flames lost 1% and Maelstrom gained 1%. But the Grand Company's...
Maelstrom?
Maelstrom. I switched from Maelstrom to... twin bladders. I think, is that the name for it?
Traitor.
Yeah. I did it so Kerr and I could PvP together.
I'll
And
forgive you this once.
I don't care. I run around, I kill people, and I'm like just like, fucked you up, and then I'm done.
You really do that? You run around and you set them?
I do various different things. For example, if I see a Dragoon, I'm like, oh, fuck you, Joe. And I just call him Joe, and I try to kill him.
I think I did some pent-up hostilities here.
Yeah. And then if I get really into it and Milo's on my mind, I'll just start saying "wan wan 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 wan" while I'm killing people. I don't know why, but like that just comes over me, and it just feels wonderful to kill someone while yelling "wan wan wan wan" at them. But I don't say it in chat; I say it to myself.
You might need to get yourself checked out. That sounds like got an issue going on there, man.
Just maybe.
I'm doing great with that, by the way. And then yeah, the other thing is like I'm like, all right, let's go get them, and I'll just throw that snake sound in there real quick. You gotta get into it. You gotta have fun with
because
it.
they can hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Kerr can hear me.
Yeah.
That's all
Kerr's
I know.
probably just sitting there with the look on her face like,
Oh, it's
She joins in with me.
I didn't say anything. I just
I couldn't see Kerr saying that. That
She does it. She's lying right now. She totally joins in with me.
the amazing part is she probably actually does.
Yeah. All right. So the total amount of gil that's in the game is 3 trillion and 3.5 trillion gil, around that amount.
Dang.
So let's see. The max you can hold is like 1 million, right? Besides putting on your retainer.
Mm.
No, not 1 million. What is it?
Billion.
Is it 1 billion?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that they're...
It's actually one under 1 billion, and you can hold like 999,999,000.
And then you can put it on retainers after that point, right?
Yeah.
Do you think we have some 1% stuff going on here? Is there like people out there that actually have like 1 trillion gil?
I don't know about on our server, but definitely on our, on our, what am I trying to think of? The actual like whole group, the server group.
The center.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. If I want to know where that trillionaire is, do you?
Shoot, they're making my bankroll look insignificant.
Jesus Christ. I'm sure they're out there, and we should all attack them and take their gil. All right, so
Not very nice.
it's okay.
Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay.
For that money.
Look, and I'm gonna work really hard to take it from them.
Yeah, really,
You're
really.
gonna go back random people on the street and take their money. Now you're just a mugger.
No, I'm doing this virtually, man. This is where I
So
let all
now
the things
you're
I can't do, like
virtual mugger.
virtual mugger. Yeah, I can go with that.
There, that guy said there. Hantridge says a dude in his brother stack has 970 million.
Yeah, almost a billion.
Close. Getting close.
That's fucking